Thank you, Emily, for that report. Now, it's just a day since the Chief Justice, David Maraga, issued an advisory to President Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve Parliament. Reactions are still coming in from leaders. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, this morning said that this is actually a recipe that may plunge the country into a constitutional crisis. We now cross over to Parliament to just get a cocktail of what some of the lawmakers have to say following this advisory.
Ask Kenyans again, are we willing to have an extra burden through the implementation of the two-thirds gender rule? And we go in and ask amongst many other issues that Kenyans had raised during the BBI collection process. If the feedback that we have had so far, and I can tell you, even on the floor of the House, female members of Parliament have voted against this thing. We have achieved this thing progressively. Look at last Parliament, people like Aisha Juma were women reps. In this Parliament, they are members of single constituencies. It means they have worked hard to be there. Look at Millie Odhiambo. She was a nominated member of Parliament. She has now been a member of Parliament elected, competing with men for 2 terms. So this thing has to be progressive. Look at governors. In the first term, we didn't have female governors. Now we have 2. So this thing is going to be progressive. This constitution says that the sovereign power remains with the people. Members of Parliament don't vote for their own colleagues to come to this house. So even if we went back, you will not force the people of Uriri to vote for a female member if they want me to come back to this house. So me, I think this thing is, let's go to the referendum. Let's shut it down. Kila mtu apambane na hali yake. But the president, you now have the opportunity to fast track the issue of the referendum so that we deal with all these things once and for all. Ndio hii kelele mingi ya wanasiasa sasa imeanza hapa, tumalizane nayo round 1, tufanye referendum, kazi iendelee mbele.
Thank you. I think let me say that the Chief Justice is bitter because his tour of duty has come to an end prematurely. And I'm told that he's interested in joining National Assembly. But I want to urge him to wait for 2022 so that he can come and join National Assembly. But anyway, on a more serious note, let me say that I don't believe that we should actually have this gender thing, two-thirds gender thing in law. And that's the reason why I continuously voted no against the passage of that law. And so if the president feels that we should all go home, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to the voters and tell them that I'm back because I refuse to allow more slay queens into Parliament. But I also would like to say that the Chief Justice is not a team player because you cannot begin to advise the president to dissolve Parliament even before you consult, because the 3 arms of government really needs to consult. And he's even saying in his statement that he knows the times are hard, but the cost of democracy requires that we have to go home. So I think this country had, I think, one of the worst Chief Justices in the manner in which he employed arrogance and trying to work on his own and etc. But I think that for me as a member of Parliament, I'm ready to go back to the voters because anyway, I'm always with them. Every week, I'm always with them, and I think they're going to bring me back. So, but I would really urge the president, I'm not the president, but if I were the president, I would actually dissolve Parliament, whatever the circumstances. Because you've seen the kind of politics that is going on, you know, a lot of noise making, a lot of, you know, tanga, all this manner of people, you know, groups of politicians who are, you know, who are fighting for a war, you know. So I think the president, I don't know, okay, I'm not your advisor, I'm not the Attorney General, I'm not your PS, but I think you should dissolve Parliament so that all these keleles can end. We want to see how far this group of politicians allied to William Ruto, how far they can go. And I want to see if they really can come back and fight for this war, this battle, and we are ready for them. Thank you.
All right, that is just a section of lawmakers giving their reactions following the advisory that was issued by the Chief Justice David Maraga to President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday to dissolve Parliament. A lot of that is going to be shaping the news in the coming days and throughout the day, and we will be updating you on more about what this advisory has stirred, coming not just from the political front but also among Kenyans as well. We are also tracking quite a number of stories for you, and today actually there was that presentation by by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, who talked about this very key subject, saying that this actually could plunge the country into a constitutional crisis. And we saw him earlier also yesterday issuing a statement with regards to, in case Parliament is dissolved and we opt to go into a by-election in this country, according to the Speaker of the National Assembly, this is an expensive affair, and he did not see any reason why that ought to justify why we should engage in this particular exercise. So we will just be, following up this particular matter for you. But for now, it's a matter of wait and see to see which direction President Uhuru Kenyatta is going to take with regards to the dissolution of Parliament. It's not the first time this is happening in the country. And in as much as it is a rare occurrence, it is something that is constitutional and may just happen. So it's a matter of wait and see, and even how this is going to impact the political landscape going forward.